Hey guys, this is Lazarus. Today I'm gonna talk about Shingo Aoi, Tomeya Akai and Vulcan. So let's start with Shingo. Aoi comes with a team skill that gives everybody 20% if you use 5 or more agility type Japanese players, and a passive skill which is matchup win bonus, so his stats rise by 15% every time he wins in a matchup, and that is up to 2 times maximum. Special skills are a brand new 1-2 step shoot with 480 momentum and 2 A ranked 80-degree feint with 325 momentum, and a bob and weave interception with 320. Hidden skills are bond with 3 or more agility type Japanese players that gives everyone 2.5%, bumpy ground whatever, defensive midfielder and defender killer, so his stats rise by 20% versus defensive midfielders and defenders. Skill block cancel, so he will cancel up to 1 special skill block used against him, and special skill block, so he will block 1 special skill of your matchup opponent, which will be applied only to defensive midfielders and defenders. First we will look at his raw stats, so this is it. So he is not a very good dribbler at 43.6, shoot sucks with 57.2, volley is good at 70.8, whatever, pass is not so good at 43.2, 1-2 is not so good at 41.4, and tackle and intercept are kinda good with 43.9 and 45.9. Keep in mind that shoot loses its power when it reaches the goalkeeper, so this or this will be the value that will goalkeeper experience if you shoot and you manage to win a matchup. This one is only against defensive midfielders and defenders. Later on I will show you how he looks with against defensive midfielders and defenders if his matchup win bonus activates. First, this is activated only that, so not against defensive midfielders and defenders. So he is a good dribbler at 52.3, let's say a good ground shooter at 68.7, great volley at 85, whatever, pass is good at 51.9, 1-2 is good at 49.7, tackle and intercept are also good at 52.7, and intercept at 55.1. Against everybody else but defenders and defensive midfielders, you can see this here. This will be rarely ever against them, so I guess I mean, it's almost somewhere in the middle of how he looks against defensive midfielders and defenders against anybody else, so you can pause and look at the numbers here, but I'm gonna switch now to these values against defenders and defensive midfielders if that matchup win bonus activates. First, I would like to say that these are not raised, because if you lose the ball you lose that passive, so that passive will be active as long as you or your team member doesn't lose the ball. So when Aoi or anybody in his team loses the ball, his passive will not be active anymore. If you win one matchup, his dribble is great at 58.9, shoot whatever, that just means that it will be the shoot will go over defensive midfielders and defenders easier. So pass is great at 58.4, 1-2 is good at 55.9. Tackle intercept obviously stay the same, because I already said that. So if you win 2 matchups, he becomes an excellent dribbler at 65.4, excellent passer at 64.9, excellent 1-2 with 62.1. So his shoot once it reaches the goalkeeper, if you shoot in a matchup with 2 defenders, so if you are in the air on your plunge volley, that shoot will be an excellent 92.1, and a good 74.4 if you are on the ground. So I guess you can you know, do some damage there, but the thing is, this guy will have a problem enabling himself, you know. What can you do is basically just shoot in a matchup with one or two players on your volley or on the ground, and he will have you know, a chance to score, obviously on Zeno, because he is blue and he is a defensive or attacking midfielder killer, and Zeno is a forward killer. So I guess, you know, you can damage Zeno there. Zenzo will not have a big problem against this guy. Any other goalkeeper, I don't see how he can damage them. Okay, if he's on a volley, yeah, great, but the point is, this guy has a lot of better you know, players that you can play instead of him. I like the players that are attacking midfielders and defensive midfielders that cannot enable themselves really easy. So I guess if you start to dribble against attacking midfielders and forwards, sure, you can, you know, be an excellent dribbler once you reach a defender, and you will have no problems in enabling him, but in that point you will lose most of your stamina, even though he has a lot of that. And, you know, again, I see a lot of better players that you can use that, you know, that are not him. Because, you know, there's a lot of versions of Aoi, and this is not one of the best versions of Aoi. What can I say? Limit break is that you can basically limit break everything instead of butt block, and he will, you know, be good, I guess, until you get someone better. But yeah, I mean, he can do damages, he can do damage against Zeno, but like I said, probably nobody else will have a lot of problems against him. Now let's talk about Tomeya Akai. Tomeya Akai comes with a team skill that gives everybody 20% if you use 5 or more toughness type Japanese players, and Insight Master as a passive, so his stats rise by 30% if you guess the right action in a matchup. Special skills are Body Tackle Interception with 450 momentum, and 2 A-ranked Strong Pass with 250, and Right Angle Defense with 315. Hidden skills are Bond with 3 or more toughness type Japanese players that gives everybody 2.5%, Bumpy Ground Resistance, so, you know, whatever. Auto Intercept Enhance, so his intercept special skill will activate 50% of the time during an automatic intercept, which is obviously always good. And special skill Block, so he'll block one special skill of your matchup opponent, and that will greatly help you choose the right action with your so that you can activate Insight Master, which is great. Again, when we look at his stats, we can see first, you know, we will talk about these, and we'll mix my opinion about this when his Insight Master activates. So he's a not so good dribbler at 31.1, but a good one at 40.4. And please, before I continue, I'm talking about a good or bad in each stats, considering his position and how often will he use, against what players will he use them. So, you know, not so good dribbler at 31.1, and let's say a good one at 40.4. Pass is at 32.6, which is obviously not good, but with Insight Master is good at 42.4. Every one of his stats is basically almost the same at 50k, let's say. So that's good, that's not bad. You will be able to bully some skill type players, but not very often. While when his Insight Master activates, this will obviously help you a lot with that. He becomes an awesome tackler at 67k, a good blocker at 65.1, and a great interceptor at 69.3. So this guy is a very well designed defender, which can be used as a defensive midfielder, central defender, side defender. This guy has many uses, and just by that I like him the best on out of these new characters. Yeah, I have really nothing bad to say about this character. You know, he reminds me a lot of that Rising Sun Aoi, just because he has Insight Master, special skill block, and auto intercept. Plus everything he does, he will have great success in doing it, especially being a toughness type player. He will represent a problem for Tsubasa, and you know, that means a lot, because you can see Tsubasa in almost every team, and this guy can stop him, and can stop him easily, you know. So yeah, I like this guy. There is nothing much that you can say about him, but what you can say is that he is very good. It's straightforward, and Insight Master that has special skill block and auto intercept. Awesome, you know. I screwed up this limit break, so forgive me, please. You can do a mixture of limit breaks on this guy, so I guess if you will be using him as a side defender, you can do tackle speed intercept technique 25. If you will use him as a defensive midfielder, you can do 17, 17, 16, 16, 16, 18, so you can have more success in passing and dribbling when you win a matchup. And you can do 23, 23, 23, 10, 10, 11 as a well-rounded central defender. Of course, when you boundary break him, you will boundary break everything but shoot, and this guy can be a very reliable defender, side defender, and let's say a good defensive midfielder. A great defensive midfielder, just because he has auto intercept and hands, and basically can stop everything. And he can be one of those defensive midfielders which you can use to shield your keeper that doesn't have safety zone. So if you don't have Zenzo, this guy can be a great help, something like Edmilson at that position. Edmilson is better, stronger, but this guy has auto intercept in every position. Edmilson has only on central area, you know. But yeah, this guy is great. What can I say? I love this guy. Congrats if you got him. Now let's talk about Vulcan. What can I say about this Vulcan? Not so good. He's a defender and he's a defender and a forward. First, I can activate this right away, because that's gonna be active whenever you are in the box. So, you know, there's some rare occasions when you can find yourself in the air out of the box, but that's so rare, so we will not talk about that so much. He's a catch killer, easy bond to activate, good team skill, penalty area master, which means he'll be severely limited because of the point 1. He doesn't have good special skills in anything else he does besides shooting and blocking. So, you know, as a defender, he will suck at everything, so don't you dare use him as a defender. You will use him basically as somebody that, you know, before you get someone better, obviously. But the fact is, this guy will be only dangerous in the air, and specifically on his high ball, because he is very good on high ball, so he gets 25% bonus there. And by today's standards, he will not be very good there either. He can score basically against Colossus, but that's it against those keepers that you can see in this meta. So Zeno will have no problems with him, Zenzo would have no problems with him. So this guy is probably the worst player ever released in a paid banner, and I cannot see why is this guy released, and why is this guy in a paid banner. Whose idea was that? I don't know, but you know, that idea sucks. This guy looks like a character, like a 2-year-old gacha character, and most definitely he doesn't look like a guy that deserves to be in a paid banner. He doesn't look like a guy that deserves to be a new player, because this is just a travesty. This is ridiculously bad, and you know, don't do it. Don't pull for this guy. I mean, I'm sure what you have at your disposal now will be better than this, because this guy just sucks. Maybe the best out of this whole situation is that maybe some guys like to pull on paid banners on step 4 and 5 to maybe get lucky and get those very rare characters, because that banners are basically give you the best chance of getting those characters. But if you get this guy, you will, you know, just cry and smack your head against the wall or table or whatever. Your head will be smacked, because you will not be happy with this guy, because he sucks. Considering this guy has a cost of $100 as a guaranteed unit, this is just fucking ridiculous. This guy sucks. So this is basically it. If you like this video, like it. If you didn't like it, fuck it. Write down in the comments below what do you think about these players. All the social media links are in the description of the video below. Subscribe. Join our Discord channel. In the description of the video is the invitation. You know, you are welcome there. And that's it. I cannot believe that this guy... Okay, whatever. Bye. See you.